Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. I was about to say podcast. We are here Tuesday, February 18th, talking about Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker has signed with the Philadelphia 76ers after a day full of confusing reports. Mark Stein originally reporting that he was going to stay in the EuroLeague with his team, which I believe is a Lithuanian squad, Zalgiris. And then Shams. Sorry, Chris Haynes on the other screen right now. Shams breaking that Lonnie Walker is signing a 2-year, $3 million deal with the 76ers. Today, the 18th, as we're recording this, was the final day for him to opt out of his contract. He had an NBA opt-out clause or buyout clause or whatever, and he ends up in Philadelphia. So Lonnie Walker's back, but not with the Celtics.
I swear you would have thought there was a natural disaster today online. Everybody was devastated. People have been sitting here waiting all season for the opportunity for Lonnie Walker to be on the Celtics again. And he's not. I was surprised. I saw the reports come out earlier today that said he will not be back at all. And then Shams came in, big body, drop step. Look at this. He's on the Sixers now. For the Sixers, it makes sense. The Sixers need all the help that they can get right now. They're dying. They're 20-34. They are the same team as the Brooklyn Nets right now, record-wise. Adding extra bench help for them is a tremendous get. They could use that. They could use extra bodies because all their guys don't play. They've all been injured. Embiid hates playing. So bring in somebody who can be a bucket getter at times is probably going to be a good fit on their team. There's even a chance that he plays well for the rest of the season. And people are like, look, this is what the Celtics should have got. And the point remains that if he was on the Celtics, he would just not have that kind of opportunity.
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. Listen, this is the same exact thing as, oh my God, Delano Banton is good. The Celtics should have done something. Or, oh my God, Desmond Bane is good. They were idiots, even though that one has a little bit more legs to it. Or, oh my God, this player is good. He should have been here. Oh my God, Aaron Nesmith is good now. The Celtics are terrible. There's a reason these players go places, right? Like the Celtics, I'll use Aaron Nesmith as the first example. Aaron Nesmith is okay in Boston, right? And had they played him all the minutes, he probably would be a decent player. Like he'd probably be a rotational guy. Like he'd probably get decent minutes. But he was never going to get those minutes because they were a competitive team trying to win a championship, and they had guys win now better than him. Lonnie Walker, if he were to get signed to the Celtics roster, would probably be the 9th, 10th man at best, right? Like he's not playing 9th man at best, right? Because he's not playing ahead of Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford off the bench. Seriously. And probably not above Luke Cornett either because they run double big lineups. So that maybe slot him in at 10, right? He'd probably play over Jordan Walsh, Baylor Shireman. Maybe you wouldn't have had to sign Tory Craig if you had him. And maybe he would have had a couple games here or there, like a la Jaden Springer, where he could have made an impact and had this burst. The difference between a Jaden Springer, for example, and a Lonnie Walker is Jaden Springer's thing is hustle, defense, blah, blah, blah. It's the whole reason that you and other people around Celtics fandom were like, oh, we should keep him. Lonnie Walker's thing is I can score in bunches. And it is significantly harder to do that when you don't have the regular opportunity to have the ball in your hands. And even if Lonnie Walker would have gotten the chance to play here and there, he probably wasn't going to have the ball in his hands a lot. That's just not the role that would be available to him. Do you see how long it took Peyton Pritchard to be in a role where they're comfortable putting the ball in his hands at all to run the offense? Right? It's just not the best fit in Boston. On top of that, he's not playing well right now. Like it's not like he went over to the EuroLeague.
I was waiting
like,
for it.
This on fire. Oh my God, he's a demon. The Celtics let this guy go. It's the same thing that happened last year in Brooklyn. Everyone is so obsessed with his stats in Brooklyn last year. Before the All-Star break, he shot pretty well. It was like 40-something% or 43, whatever percent. Post All-Star break, he shot 32% from three. Bad again. Not good again. In the Lithuanian, cup or whatever, he played 4 games and everyone was like, oh my God. And the LKL, which is like the Lithuanian league, and those 2 games combined, he was like, oh my God, he's shooting 53%, 54% from 3. And you're like, oh wow, that's pretty good. He gets to the EuroLeague, and in 19 games, he's shooting 38% from the field and 33% from 3. It's almost like he's just a streaky shooter who is going to be up and down. And there's not a lot of room for guys like that on the Celtics roster. You look up and down, and the streaky guys they have are the superstars. It's Jalen, it's Jason, it is Derek White or Porzingis maybe every once in a while. All of their rotation pieces, and this season, I suppose you could argue that Sam Hauser has been streaky, right? But Sam Hauser has never shot below 40% from three in an NBA season, ever. Not once. Or not in college, not in high school, not in the G League, never. It's never happened. So that's like not exactly the same as like a streaky like Lonnie Walker, who has been up and down as a three-point shooter his whole career. In Philadelphia, like you said, he's probably going to be pretty good because he's going to have the opportunities to have the ball in his hands. And he is a good scorer. He's a fine scorer. He's an NBA level like bench scorer. Like I think he can be that. There just wasn't going to be room for him to be that in Boston. And so maybe it'll work out in Philly. Maybe he goes on a bad end of his streak. I don't know. But the people mad about it, move on, guys. Like, come on. Like it's time to move on.
I just saw the tweet come up and I was like, Armageddon. People are gonna be devastated. Like hands on their knees, just doubled over, in the borderline misty-eyed to see this news. To your point about the streakiness, the only thing that I really will say about this is this season, this first half of the season, only they could have used him because Hauser missed a lot of time with his back.
Sure.
That's the only thing that you look at it and you're like, would have been kind of nice to have him and just, throw him out there, let yourself see what you have. But all right, Jack, let's discuss. Compare and contrast. Who would you rather have, Lonnie Walker or Tory Craig? Compare Celtics number 12s.
Tory Craig.
I agree. One game in.
It's not. You could have asked me
100%
before
free.
he played that game, and I would have said Tory Craig. Because there's difference. Tory Craig has spent his entire career being an off-ball player. That's not what Lonnie Walker has always been, and he's succeeded in that role in certain places. But that place was the Lakers, where they needed rotation guys. They needed guys to play decent minutes, and even with the Lakers, he didn't play all the time in the playoffs. Like he was in and out of that rotation too. There's just context to it all. And I think Lonnie Walker could be a fine player in the right situation. I just don't think the Celtics were ever that situation.
It's funny because I'm thinking about this now. This is not us like hating on Lonnie Walker either. Please like don't take it as us punching down at a guy that's on the fringe of the NBA because that's not what it's meant to be. It's just simply he probably will have much better opportunity with the 76ers, and he made the right decision by going to play overseas and not really settling for a nothing role. Waiting for that half a season rather than, I'm pretty sure he said he had other offers going into Celtics camp and he wanted to play and try and make the Celtics. Waiting the half season was probably a good call because now you have a bunch of teams looking themselves in the mirror saying, this is what we need help, blah, blah, blah. Philly is like a dream scenario for somebody like that because not only is there opportunity at the moment, but there's also the potential of like, oh, maybe this is a competitive playoff team. Like I joke on here all the time about like Philly's dead. I have a Celtics blog article coming out as you're hearing this in the morning, just like roasting other teams around the NBA to be like, this is what you missed if you haven't paid attention all year. Like this is what's going on. And Philly is in fact tied with the Brooklyn Nets, but they've dealt with a ton of injuries. Who knows if that's going to improve? There's other things going on. Like Paul George has been very mediocre and he really hasn't lived up to the contract that he signed this summer. But if everything falls into place for them, like they could be a pain in the ass. They beat the Celtics at home on Christmas. They were up 27 points on the Celtics in Philly a couple weeks ago. Like they have shown that they can play. Adding Lonnie Walker is not a bad get for them. I'm sure he'll play fine there. And when they play the Celtics in 2 days or tomorrow, as you hear this,
Bet
you
your
may be
ass.
very upset as he makes a couple threes, and you're gonna be like, "See, I know more than Brad."
The C people are the people that I'm ranting at. Like that is what it is. It's not Lonnie. Lonnie's a fine player. It doesn't make sense, and that's my opinion. If you disagree, you disagree. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let us know what you think of Lonnie Walker down in the comments below. I'm sure it'll be a very split room, very split comment section. Leave a like, subscribe, and all that same. Take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Like Jack said, leave a comment. Tell us what you think of Lonnie Walker. You can also leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell. We're here every single day. New pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. Other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can also find all pods and recaps on Spotify and Apple. If you just want the audio versions, that's fine. Go ahead and follow, and they will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading your emails every single time we record. We'll be recording tomorrow, so get them in. I'm sure you got something to say about this. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco.